Look. He's just gonna shoot me. There's nothing he can do. Look at this idiot. Ah! I love it. Okay, maybe that was a little bit mean. Welcome to the place where I vocalize my random shower thoughts in a schizophrenic episode to a fan base that's also a little bit schizo because they think Titanfall 3 is actually going to be real. Yeah, I'm talking to you, buddy. I'm here to abuse every technological advantage I can, and Ion is the only Titan capable of hosting their own laser show. Your Gatling gun won't save you, and the future is now, old man. Ion is absolutely broken, so I'm going to show you how to start collecting W's like my autistic ass eating a bowl of alphabet soup. Obviously, first you need a Titan, and we'll make it real quick. Only 3 steps thanks to abusing the Thunderbolt. Step 1, point. Step 2, shoot. Step 3, profit. The Thunderbolt builds your Titan meter so fast it's stupid. If you find a group of enemy Titans together, you can build it from 0 to 100% in a couple seconds. Easy. Drop that Titan in, and guess what? Now we're unstoppable, because we take what we want here.
Give me that chicken pussy.
What? Point number 1, why Ion is broken. Giant laser. Endpoint. I don't have to explain much more than this, but I will. Who doesn't love a good war crime? What's better than melting your enemies to puddles while yelling at the top of your lungs? I demand to speak to your manager! What do you mean Ryan Reynolds isn't hot? Ugh! I'm done paying taxes! I think you get the point. I literally get to turn my enemies into pastries by looking at them. It's like dragging a Discord mod away from their screen and forcing them to make eye contact. They just turn crispy. For whatever reason, I just had the thought of Ion waifu pop into my head, and I wish it hadn't. Wait, no, you weren't supposed to see that. I meant this one. This one right here. There's also those awkward moments where you use your core ability and then the other guy just leaves, so you just look like a jackass. Ion also has a smaller laser, which is probably the most versatile weapon out of every Titan in the game. This thing is so lethal in short bursts that I use it as my primary. I only use the splitter rifle if I have no other option left. The laser is a hit scan, which for those of you that don't know, basically just means that it doesn't take time to travel from point A to point B. That shit is instant, which lets you do some pretty nutty stuff like this. This is the one time you get to shine a laser pointer at that thing in the sky and not have the cops show up at your door asking why you blinded an airline pilot. Time to abuse that shit. Anytime you see somebody ejecting out of their Titan, all you have to say is,
"It's free real estate."
Enemy Titan. Target. Enemy Titan eliminated by attacking.
the tripwire is probably one of the most forgotten gadgets that Ion has, but it's so underrated. I just like to drop them all over the place. On Titans that just dropped, in heavy traffic areas, in buildings, leave one in the bathroom like a scented candle. It's just a simple thing that you can just set and forget about. You can also use it defensively if you're trying to get away from an enemy. It does a good amount of damage, so it either forces them to stop and take a second to shoot the wire while you get away, or they have to take the damage. I use it more often than the Vortex Shield, but I will say that if you're going against a Legion, you could just use the Vortex Shield as your primary. Their only option, if you keep some distance, is to shoot you, and you just bounce the bullets back. Easy as pie. The whole idea of playing Ion is about resource management. There's this little bar on the left side of your screen that shows how much energy you have built up. If you're bad, you'll run into scenarios where you need to use that energy and you just don't have it. But I couldn't relate to that. The best Ion kit you can choose for Ion is 0-point tripwire. Basically, it just lets you use those tripwires without using any energy. It's free. So now you don't have to manage that energy anymore. You just get to use it, which means that you have that much more energy for your shoulder-mounted laser pointer. The only other one I would consider is the extra damage from your Vortex Shield, but whenever you use it, there's just a little bit less zapping you get to do later on. Zap! To ensure that I get my giant laser beam that much faster, I always have Overcore Kit and the extra battery boost whenever I spawn my Titan. The Red Baron skin is just the way to go, because it looks great with the laser sharks, but the Murder skin with the Snaky Snake is also an acceptable alternative. Counters. I won't spend too long on this because I know it's going to be super incredibly boring, so we're going to run through this like it's the Gauntlet. Legion. Legion has a lot of health and a solid damage output, but their game plan is way too straightforward. Their only option is to shoot big gun. Use Vortex Shield whenever they shoot, they have no answer, except for really salty ones in the comments afterwards. Ronin. Ronin will always try to rush you down and get in your face, punish them on their way to you, and don't be afraid to roleplay as Ray Rice once they start getting close. Just start swinging. Oh, and throw those little tripwires around like you're making it rain. Monarch. Don't panic, distance is preferred, but you can take them close too. Poke with lasers and then harass them in the chat afterwards. Other Ions. Just be better. I don't know what else to tell you. That's all there is.
Warning, enemy pilot attack.
Uh-oh.
North Star. Fragile and will run away from you. Watch for traps, but really only a challenge when other Titans are involved. You can either beat the North Star at their own game using range and laser poking, or you can get up in their face and just give them a little smooch. Scorch. Big Papa Scorch is probably the only one you need to be afraid of. The chef is cooking and you're probably on the menu. Don't get too close and avoid the thermite shots. They hurt. They hurt a lot. Laser poking and tripwires are still going to be your best answer though. Now, just because you've mastered Ion doesn't mean life is going to be perfect. There's still plenty to go wrong. Trust me, I'm a professional. That Ion is pissing me off on the other team. Anytime I eject, he just laser zaps me, even if he's nowhere near me.
How do you think they feel now?
I know. It's not fun. I don't like being on the other end of it.
How much?
Ah, my mouse doesn't go any further! Playing Ion is really pretty simple. There's a little bit more thinking to it than people trigger, but I promise it's not hard. You should be able to win any 1v1 with Ion. Just remember that you're the apex predator here. You're not going to be pushed around by a bunch of shrub dwellers. Now go join me in game and let's throw the universe's biggest laser show. If you made it all the way to the end, thank you, and I'll see you in the next one.